LeBron James has had a career in the NBA that many players couldn't even dream of having. He's among the GOAT shoutouts, and for most people, it's really hardly even arguable. Having accomplished all that he has, James wants to do something that would be a major personal bucket list item, playing in the NBA with both of his sons. Will he be able to do that? We'll take a look in today's video.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First up, LeBron wants to play with his sons in the NBA. When you've won the lot, from MVP awards to NBA honors, rings, and all-star appearances, your motive shifts to achieving some personal goals. For LeBron, the ultimate dream is to play with his sons at the highest level. Talking to Chris Ballard of Sports Illustrated, the King explains how he's not only to say what's going to happen in the next 2-3 years, but he's also a guy that lives in the moment. This was his response to Ballard's question about whether he looks forward to the possibility of playing with his sons. Of course, there are lots of question marks over this to happen, and the biggest one being whether James will be playing by the time his youngest son arrives on the scene. In fact, LeBron's 37 already, and for him to play with his sons, he'd require playing for at least another 6 years, so he'll be 43 by the time his sons arrive in the NBA at the earliest. But the King remains adamant enough to make it happen. Look, we don't know what it feels like to be as good at something as LeBron is, but we do know that if you're that good, things do eventually fall into place. The likes of Udonis Haslem and Joe Johnson are into their 40s and they're still playing. We're pretty sure James would probably be even better than those two when he's in his 40s. Moving on, the King could make history. If things go well, LeBron's still playing when he's 43 and his sons join him in the NBA. Then he'll officially create history. No other player in the NBA has managed to do that, and LeBron becoming the first man to do it would be pretty special. If we're being honest, in fact, if we take a wider look, only 3 players, 2 from the MLB and 1 from the NHL, have played games with their sons in the 4 professional sports in the US. That included Tim Raines in the MLB, who first played against his son, Tim Raines Jr., back in 2001 in an official professional baseball game, but that wasn't enough for Father Tim. He pulled a few strings and was traded to the Baltimore Orioles, where he was permitted to play with his son. And on the 4th of October, the father-son duo played together, with Raines Jr. playing center field and his father playing left field. Similarly, Ken Griffey played with his son in the MLB, and Gordie Howe became the only player in the NHL to play a game with his own son. Now, LeBron's got a chance of making history, and we know just how he is in those situations. It would hardly be surprising if he goes a step further and ends up playing a game with both his sons. Now, that'd be something, wouldn't it? However, it's not that easy. While it's a fantastic story and fans would absolutely love to see their father-son trio playing together, it's not as straightforward as it seems. Even if we imagine for the sake of this argument that LeBron keeps up his end of the bargain and is fit and firing by 43, what's the guarantee that his son will make the cut to the biggest league in the world? They're quality right now, no doubt, and we've all seen the videos and know their hype, but is that enough? LeBron's sons have a long road ahead of them. Bronny James, the elder of the two, is entering his senior year of high school only, and while he's extremely rated a few years ago, the hype has somewhat died down a little bit. That's mostly because of his height, as was he expected to be a lot bigger than he is right now. He's still pretty decent and impressed in multiple different appearances over the summer. On the other hand, Bryce, the younger son, is a 9th grader, and he's got a lot of time before he can even think about having a career in the sport. Of course, though, when you're the son of the King, you've got some natural talent, and he already seems a lot bigger than his elder brother. Bronny may not be a freak of nature like his father, but nothing stands between Bryce and that level if he keeps up his development. Lastly, an incentive for the NBA franchises. Now, we're assuming that Bronny, for instance, has made it to the NBA draft. He may not be as talented as the rest of the lot in the draft, but there'd be a lot of reasons for NBA franchises to sign the youngster. The first one is obvious. He's super talented if he's made it to the draft, and that's a good enough reason to invest. Plus the genetics. It's a risk you should be willing to take because the upside is simply too big. But that's not the only reason for signing the James brothers. Signing Bronny might mean that you can get LeBron James to play for your franchise, as he wouldn't mind moving conferences if needed just to link up with his son. That's as good a draft signing as it gets, and even if he's declined by then, if he ever does decline, he'd still be good enough to pull massive crowds and would contribute in a massive way whatever role he plays. If none of those reasons tempt franchises into signing Bronny, another one could easily be leverage. How, you may ask? It's simple. The Lakers want LeBron to retire in Los Angeles, and if that's the case, the King may force their hand into signing his son. And any franchise could trade Bronny for a lot more than he's worth at that point. Plus, the Lakers don't necessarily have a lot of draft picks, so this third reason could be an interesting one. In other news, starting with LeBron defending Bronny. They're not even teammates yet, and LeBron's already defending Bronny. In the latest turn of events, LeBron was asked whether he would be putting up extra pressure on his son and forcing him to follow his path. We doubt it's as bad as the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, we're not sorry, but there's been a lot of perceived pressure outside looking in on Bronny, but we wouldn't be brave enough to ask the King this question. Sports Illustrated's Chris Ballard was brave enough, and he did ask the difficult question in response though. James explained that he doesn't care what anyone says, and that, quote, "our search and journey isn't based on what everybody said." He added that he doesn't expect everyone to love him or his son, and that 5 people out of 10 probably hate him, but he believes that their plan for Bronny's future is perfect. The younger James is a proper talent. He may not be as good as he was hyped to once, but he can still do a pretty decent job for most sides. It'll be interesting to see if he ends up playing in the NBA. Next up, the King buys AC Milan. Everyone knows that while James is a fantastic basketball player and may be the greatest of all time, he's not a genius on the court only. He's got a terrific eye for investments, and that's why his fortune has only grown during his career. As per Financial Times, LeBron's investment in sports have increased, and the latest addition is a stake in Series A's AC Milan. He's part of the long list of investors behind Jerry Cardinale, the new owner of the Italian club that only the football club and James has a stake in. More than a decade ago, James decided to dip into the Premier League by signing a minor stake in Liverpool FC, and this has grown massively over the last decade or so. LeBron's truly a visionary. He likes calling himself that, and this is proof that he isn't wrong. Lastly, Tiger Woods speaks out on the GOAT debate. Tiger Woods, the legendary golfer, was asked about his view on the GOAT debate in the NBA, and his answer was woodsy as it gets. Woods explained that the two GOATs were both great in different ways, and that MJ was a prolific scorer and played first-team all-defense. He called LeBron a hybrid between MJ and Magic Johnson, which is as high praise as you can possibly expect. If you're hoping for a clear-cut answer from Tiger, you'll be disappointed because he asked for respect for both players and pointed out that they both played the game in different ways. He was full of praise for MJ too, and we think if LeBron can play a hole or two with Tiger, we might get a clearer answer. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think LeBron will get his wish of playing with his sons? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.